Good morning. Welcome members of the media, alums, staff, and fans of Norwich University. My name is Derek Dunning, Director of Athletic Communications here at Norwich University. Thank you for attending today's press conference. It is my honor to introduce Director of Athletics here at Norwich University, Mr. Tony Mariano, to kick off today's press conference, welcoming our new men's hockey coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Mariano.
Well, thanks, Derek, and again, welcome to everybody this morning. Exciting times at Norwich, and we certainly appreciate you all being here today. Today we're here to announce the new men's head hockey coach, Cam Ellsworth. Cam becomes the 11th head men's hockey coach in Norwich's 100-year-plus history. For the past 7 years, Cam has been an assistant coach and associate head coach at UMass Lowell under the direction of head coach Norm Bazin. While at Lowell, Cam has been instrumental in Lowell's 5 NCAA tournament appearances and 3 Hockey East championships. Prior to his experience at UMass Lowell, Cam was an assistant for the Sioux City Musketeers of the United States Hockey League, and prior to that, played professional hockey in the East Coast Hockey League. As a graduate of Michigan Tech, Cam played collegiate hockey there and still holds the all-time games played and saves record. He holds a bachelor's degree in business administration with a concentration in finance. He also earned a master's in business administration with a concentration in managerial leadership from UMass Lowell in 2017. Cam is widely known as one of the top recruiters in college hockey and brings a wealth of experience to Norwich. I'm really very pleased to have him join our team to lead, coach, and mentor our student athletes. Before I invite Cam to the podium, I want to thank the selection committee for their time and effort in this selection process. These individuals spent hours going through resumes and doing research on all of the candidates, and what I think did a fantastic job. Chair and members of the selection committee are Professor Stu Robertson, Financial Aid Director Megan Drum, Head Women's Hockey Coach Mark Bolding, Head Men's Rugby Coach Bob Wegler, Chair of the Blue Line Club and a 1984 NU grad and hockey player Steve Burkholz, and head coach Mike McShane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to introduce for the first time as a Norwich University men's hockey coach, Cam Ellsworth. Oh. Cam, we got a little gift for you here. Is our camo jersey, and because you were a goalie, we gave you a number 1. So that's for you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction, and thank you all for being here. I would like to start out by thanking President Snyder, Vice President Vanacek, Athletic Director Mariano, and the entire search committee for affording me the opportunity to stand here before you as the 11th head coach in the history of this prestigious university. I've been spending a lot of time trying to put in paper and into words kind of what this means to me and my family, and it's been very difficult, but I can assure you that my excitement is extremely high to get started and be a part of this community. I wouldn't be standing here today before you without the help of a lot of people, and I'd like to take a minute to recognize those. As Athletic Director Mariano mentioned, I've been doing this for 10 years. It's a passion of mine, and I started in Sioux City, got an opportunity, and I worked with some great people there, namely Rick Conley Jr., Keith Paulson, Ron Peterson, were support staff with me. Got offered a position at UMass Lowell, and again was with Artie Poitras, Devin McConnell, Sean Patno, Ron Grove, Nick Laser, Dan Darrow, Sean Flanagan, Troy Thibodeau, Jason Lammers, Andy Jones. I feel like my path has prepared me, and I would like to, again, just reach out and thank my mentors in this game. First, I was hired by Todd Connaught, and he was the head coach at Sioux City and gave me the opportunity. And when you play hockey, after practice you get to go home, and when you coach hockey, you don't. And Todd was a great mentor and just taught me the difference in working in the game and playing the game. I'll be forever grateful, and he instilled just a work ethic that I think has allowed me to rise through the ranks and again, assume this position. After 1 year, Todd took a position at Mankato where he still is and does a great job. And we hired Luke Strand. He came from the American League. He had no obligation to keep me or Rick at the time. And he welcomed me with open arms. And I felt like the 2 years I spent there was like literally getting a master's degree in hockey. He was on the precipice of the NHL, working with guys that were so close to that level. And from a detail and video and development standpoint, I couldn't have imagined a better stepping stone for me. At the end of that 2 years, again, I got the opportunity. Norm Bazin came back to UMass Lowell and took over his alma mater, and I was very fortunate to get offered the position there. And simply put, I think Norm's the best leader that I've ever been around. It's hard to really put it into words, but the man is an incredible mentor to me, and I'm forever grateful for the 7 years that I got to spend with him, learning with him, celebrating with him, and growing. So I would like to thank all of them on a professional level. All the people that have reached out in the past little while have just been overwhelming, and I thank you. And if I haven't got back to you, I promise I will. It's been awesome, from former players to friends to teachers to parents of players. It's just been awesome. So thank you very much. On a personal level, again, you don't get to do this without a ton of support. So first of all, my mom and dad are actually here. I'd like to thank them for being here, for all the support that they've given me. My sister at home, brother-in-law Tyler, their kids Eli and Callan are diehard hockey fans, and they're going to be diehard Cadets fans. My in-laws, Ed, Darlene, brother-in-law Billy, and nephew Jackson. Again, they're all incredibly supportive. And finally, my wife Julie, son Asher, and daughter Addison, sorry. And just, it's not easy being the wife of a hockey coach. It's definitely not easy being the wife of an assistant hockey coach that, you know, his schedule can be late and travel can be long. But I've just had unconditional love and support, and I thank her for that. Again, here we are, and again, I'm excited to be here. I feel very special. And the past few days, again, have been exhilarating, but have been a blur, and I've had the opportunity to speak to just an incredible amount of supporters of this program. And I've been trying to, again, think of a way to best sum up what my experience has been. And I've kind of come to one word, and that's pride. The pride of the people that have been associated with this program has just overwhelmed me. And again, has just really excited me, and I can't say enough. On that note, I would like to take an opportunity to congratulate Coach McShane on an outstanding career, 23 years here and 4 national championships, and I just would like to thank you and congratulations. And the people that I talked to, you know, again, his name came up a lot, and obviously to no surprise of anyone here. And so, again, I thank you, and I've gotten the opportunity. He's been very gracious with his time, and I look forward to continually leaning on him as a head coach here and learning the process. I've been excited to kind of jump in here, and I've had the opportunity to speak with almost the entire team. I've reached out to everyone, and again, we're still trying to connect. But it's been just, again, welcome with open arms, and again, I can't believe the excitement level, you know, from really the top down. So thank you. Looking forward, Again, I aspire to coach a team that is it's fun to watch, it's fun to play, and it is, again, just a joy to come to the rink as you fans have had for the last 23 years. But I do believe that that word pride needs to remain at the forefront, at least in my mind, because I believe it's our obligation to maintain the standard that's been set. And again, I'm excited to get to work today to make sure that that happens. So thank you very much.
Cool. Great comment. Welcome to the team. Thank you.
Thanks, Cam. We'll now open it up to members of the media who have any questions to ask. We have obviously Athletic Director Tony Mariano, Cam, and then President Schneider off to the left. So any questions, please just address who you want to talk to and then what media outlet you're from, and we'll go from there. Bill?
Was this a very quick turnaround for Coach Kachane, or have you been planning this for a while? But that sort of thing, it just seemed to hit all of a sudden coming to me.
No, I haven't been planning it too long, but I obviously, count the candles on a birthday cake. They don't fit anymore. It's a little bit of a warning. So I think the timing was perfect right now. We've had some great seasons, and I think it's time.
But how long a period of time between the time you made the decision and the fresh coach was hired? What length of time?
Couple months, I guess. Yeah. We moved quick. Tony was good. He knows all about it. And we knew we would have to get somebody in here and get it going. So it all went well. We had great meetings, and like Tony said, the committees were excellent.
George?
Coach, good to meet you. I'm George Kamal. I do the play-by-play on NSN and WBEV, and it's great to have you here. You've had a lengthy stay, 7 years in Division I as an assistant, as a lengthy stay at UMass Lowell. You had the opportunity, I know, to maybe go other places. Why the decision now to come to Norwich?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Again, in the last 2 years, having both of my kids been born, it's changed really a lot of perspective. I think as a assistant who is married, but my wife's working and I can get away and do some stuff like that, it's a lot easier to kind of just put your head down and go. But both my kids being born has really inspired me to make sure I'm a better father and be around. And when the opportunity, some other opportunities that you maybe speak of, maybe weren't the right fit family-wise, I think all of us get into a game and we want to aspire to be head coaches. And when this position opened, my boss Norm came in and sat down and was like, "You can get this. You gotta go." So we came up and looked at it outside of the process, my wife and I, and wanted to make sure that we were, in full. It wasn't wasting anyone's time. And she's from a small town, I'm from a small town, and this is a perfect fit for us. And then just to have the amount of support, again, from the leadership down, that they want this to be, or continue to be the program and live up to the standard, made this an absolute no-brainer for me.
Jamie?
Are you going to describe your style or how you see your reputation as a coach from your perspective?
Yeah, I've kind of always been the youngest guy on the staff, so I've kind of been a very relationship-based person, and I think even in the 20-odd years that I've kind of gone from junior hockey to college to now coaching and what, I think the whys for the players have become a lot more important. When I was in junior, if the coach said, run, they ran, and if we said jump, we said jump. But now there's a lot more why, and so I've really prided myself on taking the time to really communicate and get to know and answer those questions. So I think that fits me. And from the very early time, I talked about Todd Connaught, and he was one that sat down. He just said you got to be true to yourself. So that's kind of who I am as a person, and I hope to reflect that as a coach.
George?
Your reputation as a coach is defensively, and obviously you were a goaltender, and you had some very good goaltenders come through
Yeah, I think I need to get to know everyone on the staff a little bit more intimately before I could answer exactly responsibilities. I think there is a little bit of a deceiving nature. At UMass Lowell, for instance, kind of got billed as this, goalie or defensive, and a lot of times missed. I mean, there was times we were top 5 in the country, or power play, or scoring, or goals for, or what have you. But we're also top 5 in defense, and people kind of flock to that. And then being a goalie, I kind of get added into that. But when I was working with Luke Strand, we had a positional change, and he brought in another guy, and he gave me the option, and I thank my wife for this, because he gave me the option to stay working with the Ds, like you're doing a great job, or go up to the forwards and you could develop. And initially I was like, well, it's my job, and she's like, well, wouldn't you be better if you learned a different side? So I took the opportunity again in the middle of that master's degree in hockey to really flip to the offensive side. And for 4 of my 7 years at Lowell, worked with goalies, but with a lot of forwards. So I'm pretty comfortable wherever, but I'm looking forward to meeting the staff and seeing how we can all, use all of our strengths to best support our team.
Do you see a couple big differences or similarities moving from D1 to D3?
Again, I think it's a little early to tell in the interview process. I said I'm more of an experienced person, so I'm just beginning my experience to be able to say that. The one thing that I can tell you that isn't a difference is again, from a leadership and a support standpoint. There's a reason why UMass Lowell has emerged, and again, Norm's a big part of that, but the leadership there has made that important. And coming here, the leadership here has made it important for the hockey team here, and that gave me an ultimate comfort that we can continue the success.
Jack.
Coach, well, Jack,
Thank you.
From the NBC 5 News, questions for Tony. What stood out to you about Cam in the search?
Well, I looked at, as the committee did, Cam's experience. Certainly, he played at a very high level, had good success, and then the stops that he made and the places where he coached were impressive. And I really think when you look at how Lowell has transformed from where they were 8-10 years ago to today, a lot of that had to do with Cam's work, not only in recruiting, but in developing players, goaltenders, and others in that program. And I thought that was extremely beneficial moving forward for our program. And I think our players are going to respect what he has done over the courses of his career, whether it be in college, playing or coaching. And I think that's also important that they have that respect and should have that respect, because he's done a great job everywhere he's been. And I think the other thing was the way he communicated to us, and I felt that was going to be a strength of his in dealing with our players. And that's vitally important, as we all know, that communication throughout the team. All these kids are different. They're not all the same, and you need to realize that and be able to talk with them and deal with them, not only on a hockey level, but on a personal level, and talk to them about what they're going to do after hockey ends and their hockey careers are finished. So Cam had all of that, and myself as well as the committee was impressed with his demeanor and the things that he had to say, and also some of the ideas that he had for the program moving forward.
Any other questions? All right, that wraps it up. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending, and we'll see you down the road. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. On a place to live now. Thank you. All right, she can help you with anything else.